Good morning. Good morning. Awesome people, everyone coming on in. I have almost 40 registered, so we're going to give it a couple minutes here to get started, but I promised that I'd make this a short business planning clinic this year. It's not going to be a crazy long one, so we'll probably spend 15 minutes going through the paradigm of the paradigm shift or the paradigm mindset shift to get you to actually look at your business plan this year. So that's probably going to be the first 10, 15 minutes. And then we're going to dig into the business plan. Actually, we'll be using the 135 form like we've used year over year. It's the easiest, simplest business plan. But the paradigm shift there is just to get you to actually look at the business plan. I want you to actually spend time this year. I want you to believe in it. If you don't believe in it, you might as well trash it now because you've got to believe in it and you got to constantly modify it. But the plan is so important, and we're going to hit that hard today on, how the plan continues to pick you up each week. It should pick you up. It should get you excited about next week and the week after. And so we're going to kind of spend the first 10, 15 minutes going over that part. I have a little short video. You guys might like it. If you guys are baseball fans, you might like it. So we'll kind of go over that. And then after that, we'll jump deep into that business plan. I even started a new one just to kind of show you the ropes of making one that's easy to understand, easy to follow, easy to plug into your daily schedule. So I've got that as well that we're going to kind of do together. So we'll make it simple this year, not getting crazy. No hour and a half like I've done in the past. We'll try to keep it to 30, 45 minutes. Sound good? So far, we are at 10. Like I said, I had 40 registered, so we'll give it a couple minutes here. Has anyone started the business plan yet? Anyone want to share? Give me some ideas or thoughts on what you've done so far with your business plan? Never is anyone that says yes. But I'm going to actually put, as more people jump in, I'll probably have to do this a couple times. But for those of you that are early comers, you'll get the first round here in the chat. And if you're on a cell phone, I suggest getting on a computer. This is business planning time. It's time to put everything aside. Try not to answer the phone. Try to just focus here. Give me 30 minutes of your attention, 45 minutes max. Get on a computer if you can. If you're on a cell phone, Apple used to not allow you to download stuff, but now you can. That's a new thing it's allowing people to do. So I'm going to put a blank business plan inside of the group chat. I'm also going to put a couple of samples for you. I'm going to put, for those of you that are just, because there's going to be other businesses in here. This isn't just going to be specific to any entity of business. It could be insurance agents, it could be lenders, it could be construction contractors, it could be plumbers, it could be you name it is going to be in this call today. So, but the business samples I'm putting in here are for real estate. But the one I'm gonna do with you today is gonna be not just real estate. It's gonna be just based on customers, getting new customers, because it doesn't matter what kind of entity it is. That's a reciprocating word, customers. So, but the samples will be samples for real estate agents. Just bypass that, those of you other business owners, but use it. Use it as a thought pattern to get you thinking about how you can set up your business plan. So that is going in the group chat here shortly. I'm just going to add a few other things in here that might be of benefit to you. Actually, I'll send that first. So there should be 5 or 6 things inside of the chat right now for you to be able to use and download those. And then I'm going to put a booklet in here on business planning for you to download as well before we get started. And this is not a booklet. It's actually it gives you it's a guide. It's a guide to building a business plan. Even it gives you a few different let me see where that is. It even gives you a few, here it is. It's an interactive business plan book that allows you to kind of put numbers in, plug numbers in. So that's coming to you right now. All right. So this is an open forum. There's a reason for me not making it, um, kind of a webinar. The reason why it's not a webinar, the reason why it's just a full open meeting, because I want you to speak up. If you have questions about something, if you didn't get that and you just jumped in, you're a few minutes late, so you might have missed the 135 blank I put into the group chat. If so, put it in the chat or unmute and say, hey, Sean, can you resend that? If you got it, it should be downloadable. Comes Jacob Fraga jumping in. So we're up to 16 now. And again, like I said, I had 40 registered. So let's see how many more we get in here. So a few things I put into the chat already. If you don't see them, let me know. I'll resend them because if you came in late, you may not be able to see the chat items that are in there. I put a solo annual business plan in there, sample. I put a blank business plan in there, fillable. I put a team annual business plan in there, sample, an action steps plan, and an interactive book. If you did not get those, speak up and I'll resend. Just got to unmute and tell me or put it in the group chat that you didn't get it. All right. I'm going to give it one more minute and then we're going to get started. And it's very important that you have those, so make sure you speak up. All right. We're going to get going. There's that 1 minute. All right. I named this. Let me fix this real quick. I named this the paradigm shift for a reason. I got to share my sound. All right. So what is a paradigm shift? What is a paradigm shift? Paradigm shift is the term paradigm shift refers to a major change in the worldview, concepts, and practices of how something works or is accomplished. A paradigm shift can happen within a wide variety of contexts, from scientific research to industry. It started with scientific research. If you go back to it, I think his name was, I want to say, Cuna, or it's like the city Cuna, but it's not Cuna. He was in the scientific world, and he's the one that first started talking about paradigm shift. The paradigm shift, the reason why I wanted to make that a big deal this year is because of one specific reason. Most business owners, if you've created a business plan in the past, have a problem where you don't ever look at it again. You might look at it once or twice a year, and that might be it. You typically just kind of go with the flow. You put it together. You spent the time, but you actually stopped looking at it. I want to get you to think today about what it's going to take to get you to actually look at it. What is it going to take? Well, it's going to take you believing in it. If you don't believe in your business plan, like I said in the beginning, you might as well tear it up and throw it away because you're not going to use it. You're not going to look at it. You're not going to follow it. A business plan is a tool. It's a tool. Here comes someone else. It's a tool that allows you to make sure you're staying on track all year long. It's to make sure you have work to do today. A business plan for an owner, for a CEO of a company, you're all CEOs of your company, all right? We have all business owners here. A business plan is a tool that you particularly use to make sure you have daily activities to do. You have daily trackable activities to do. So if you find yourself feeling the funk, that's what the problem 99, almost 100% of the time is, that you're not following your business plan. You're not spending the time to go through that business plan. So that's literally 99.9% of the problem. The business plan drives the business. It drives the daily activities. It drives the weekly growth. It drives everything you're doing in your business. Now, what kind of business does it need to be? It could be any business. It could be anything you're doing. I actually gave the business plan, the 135 business plan, to my 18-year-old daughter one year. And I guess she could not decide. She was going into a funk in her life. She was feeling depressed. She was feeling anxiety, and she just didn't know what she wanted to do. She didn't have a will or a way. So I said, let's do this. Let's do a business plan. Let's do a plan. And so I called it a plan. I didn't call it a business plan. Call it a plan. The 135 form is there to create a wildly important goal and break it down into a winnable game. Winnable game that you can grow with, a winnable game that you can chase with weekly. It gives you excitement. And if that business plan, that's where the paradigm shift comes in. If that business plan doesn't get you pumped and excited, then you're not going to look at it and you might as well not do it, because it should get you crazy excited every week that you look at it, and modify it as it goes. What you're going to hear me talk about today, and again, if you guys aren't behind a computer, get behind a computer. I ask for 30 minutes of your time, 45 minutes max, to be ready to focus on this. We're going to do it together, and you might not be able to download the items I put into the chat. And so if you can't download it, man, it's going to really defeat the purpose of you focusing on you focusing on being a different person and having that paradigm shift in 2025. So I want you to make sure you're ready today. If you're out doing something, you are behind a cell phone, stop for a minute. Just give me a little bit of your time today. Go find a quiet corner. Go find a quiet spot so you can download the items I put into the chat. And again, if you didn't get that, because a few people came in a little late, if you didn't get the items in the chat, let me know. Put a note in there and I'll resend them before this is over. All right. So you work so hard getting to the next job. Let's go back to that. Typically, business owners, is just figuring it out as they go. You work so hard getting to the next job or the next customer, and then you work the job. And you work that job and you spend 8 to 5 working the job over and over again, ordering parts, setting up a new showing, doing whatever it is you're doing to do that job. We call that the roller coaster of business. And that's what you're doing. You're just sitting there going like this over and over again. And then you get to close, you get to the end, you finish the job, you realize what's next? What's the next job? Remember, business owners are all unemployed until you're employed. You're unemployed until you're employed. And so how do you always be employed every single week, month over month, to where you have a consistent flow moving forward in your business? How does that happen? How do you do it? Some will have that next job lined up, which is great. You already got another job lined up. Cool. So you go right into the next job. But you're forgetting to focus on a very important item, the growth. How am I going to grow? Am I going to continue in this roller coaster? Am I going to continue going over and over again like this for the rest of my career? Is that pleasing to you? Does it excite you? To get another job, if it feels like, oh, I got another job, great. If we're feeling like that's the drive and that feels good, think about what it'd be like to fill the next step of your career, the next step of the growth path in your career. Where are you going to go next with it? Think about that. How do I grow? There's a saying that if you're not growing, you're not moving forward, you start moving backwards eventually. So how do I make sure I'm always growing and moving forward? Is it job after job after job? If that's growth for you, I want to give you a vision of what it looks like to have a different growth path, a bigger one. All right, we figure out how to send out a few posts maybe on social media. We talk to maybe a marketing person. Maybe we even consider hiring somebody to do some marketing for us. But what we're doing is we're just kind of thinking about it as we go along. There's really no structure. Just know building a high-performing, high-end business isn't inventing a wheel. You don't need to invent it. You don't need to fake it till you make it. You don't need to just kind of come up with it and do it on your own. You don't need to do that because you're inventing the wheel. There's major growth process out there that you can set in motion, that you have all set ready to go. To have that growth path there consistently is a structured lifestyle. And if you're structured doing it, holy mackerel, think about it. This is what we call a roller coaster business. Nothing's really structured. Everything is just kind of going with the flow. There's really no legitimate plan. Nothing really to get you moving to the next step, to next growth. Maybe you did do a business plan last year and you just kind of put it together and then you looked at it maybe twice a year. Pretty common. Most people, business owners, are that way. Then you put it in a drawer and you forget where you put it. Pretty typical. Those of you that have been maybe part of my paid coaching or maybe part of my BNI group, I talked about this a few times. It's kind of building up to business planning this year. Procrastination is a crazy bad word. And if you procrastinate, just know it's not a way to live life. You can live it more structured. You can live it, and we're going to talk, that's going to be part of my mindset shift here shortly. Multitasking is a really bad word. It means you're doing everything half ASS. I'm not going to say the word because I've got kids and can't say a bad word. So, but that's what you're doing. You're doing everything half, quarter, three quarters. You're not doing anything 100%. Think about how good you look when you finish a job 100% that one, 100% that one, 100% that one, instead of trying to do so many. That's how you forget. So I have tried to hire a few different contractors recently. And it's funny how I've got to call them and remind them that they were supposed to send me an invoice last week or not an invoice, a quote last week. Never got my quote. A whole week went by. That's because of multitasking. That's what happens when you do too much. I see so many business owners do this. And just know your clients are frustrated with you. If they've got to call you and you didn't call them, you should feel bad because you should know in your mind that they are frustrated. I want to tell you right now, every customer out there gets frustrated when they've got to call you. One of the biggest compliments I've ever had in my career was that his communication was amazing. That's the only compliment I shoot for. That's it. I want to be known as a communicator, of an owner over explainer. I'm okay with that. Make fun of me. I don't care. I'm okay with it. I want to be that over explainer. I want to be that person that people feel that, holy mackerel, he was constantly educating and teaching and telling and calling me and giving me updates. I mean, if you have on your calendar, I have on my calendar on Friday, all client updates. Every Friday, it's blocked out, it's time blocked there. It's a spot that's very important for me to just call and make sure everybody's been updated. Hopefully I already updated them during the week and I don't need to make a call on Friday, but if not, I want to make sure a week does not go by without me doing an update to everybody that I'm working with. I just want to make sure I'm never forgetting it. That's how I have a time block spot there. It's ready. It's time blocked out. There is no way it's going to get missed. Okay. So because of that, I have structure. It's not multitasking. That's what we're talking about. There's a horrible statement out there that when a coaching client tells me this, I always like cringe a little bit. Not enough time in the day. Now, I know some people have a lot of kids, right? Or kids running around, babies. Some people have 2 or 3 jobs they're doing, multitasking, 2 or 3 jobs. So how can you have multiple businesses and not multitask? Not enough time in the day. I've heard investors say that there's just not enough time in the day. And it's just like, huh, I wish I could help you. Because there is enough time in the day. You just have to segregate the time out yourself. You own your calendar. And if you own your calendar, then each hour on hour has task. And you'll find yourself quickly, if you start on time, you start that time clock on time, you start your time right when you say you're going to start it, you'll find that you actually have extra time at the end of each one of your time blocks. That's an important thing, extra time. How would that feel? To have extra time in your day. I have my morning set up. I run 7 businesses, or at least I help on 7 different businesses. I don't own them all. 7 different businesses. I'm a real estate coach. I'm a business coach. I'm a broker owner. a team leader of two different teams. Um, and I still have in the afternoons, I pick my daughter up from school. I take her to school in the morning. How do I have enough time in the day? Because the hours are very important. Those of you that have tried to call me in the morning and I don't always answer, why is that? Because you have there's a time block in my day for you, for me to call you back. And sometimes it's at the end of my time block, but I don't let it get in the way. I will not answer the phone when I'm on something. My phone may or may not be on Do Not Disturb, but I just hit that side button. I don't care who it is, it could be my mom. And I'll call her back when I'm done with the task at hand. It allows me to have time in the end of each hour. It's so much fun to have that extra time. And you'll find when you live through structured scheduling, you will definitely have a lot more time in your schedule. All right, the mindset shift. What does it take to create mastery? Mastery in 2025. So taking 1 year and turning your trade, what you do, how you set up your systems, and master it. What does that take? I've shown a lot of you this before. So knowledge, that's when you're gaining your knowledge. Wisdom, habit, experience. Unconscious incompetence means I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know it yet, but I know through knowledge I'm going to get it. Through coaching, I might get it. Through training, through a new book, through a new module series I go through, I'm going to get it, but I don't know it yet. But that needs a time in my schedule. Knowledge needs to be in your daily schedule. Daily schedule. It needs a time block. It needs time. Mine's early in the morning. I hit it before everyone wakes up. I hit my knowledge. I hit every single day. No joke. I hit it daily. Books are my friend. New module series that comes out, my friend. Oh, every day. I love it. And my goodness, tools just keep getting added to that tool belt. It can never stop through my entire career. I know I will continuously be hitting that knowledge button constantly. Conscious incompetence. I know what I don't know. I know it. Now I just need to figure it out. Wisdom, conscious competence. I know now. I know it. I know it now because I studied it. Your habit. Now you're creating constant habits. Unconscious competence. Now I do it automatically. They're habits. They are habits. That's when you know that you're starting to master it or you've mastered it, is when it's just a habit. And bad habits are so huge in business ownership. A lot of bad habits. You know when you have them. You know when you have them, when another day goes by and I just didn't do it, and I'm just not going to care. So you allow yourself to think it's okay. That's a bad place to be. So you shouldn't feel that way. That means you failed it so many times that you're just okay with continuing to fail. And it's working. Maybe it's working. Maybe you are still picking up a few jobs here and there. You jump from one job to the next, one customer to the next, and it's working. But are you really growing? Are you expanding your knowledge in your brain? Are you creating solid habits to make sure they're solid, good habits? Are you working out? Are you reading the word? Are you studying something new book, are you doing any of that? And you knew at one point in time you wanted to, right? That's now you do it automatically without thinking. When you master it is when you now start to teach it. And that's when you start bringing on other employees, or you start bringing on other realtors will start creating a team. It's when you've mastered it so much that you have so much work that you now need to leverage it out. That's building a team. A team isn't just, bringing on a bunch of people that I'm going to make money on. That's not a team. That never works, ever. I've never seen it work. Okay. You have to master the trade to where you have so much knowledge to share that you're now able to share it. You're able to teach it, and you're able to bring opportunities for other people because you've got so much business coming in. You've mastered it so much that your daily schedule is so put in order. Your morning is set up with lead, and you're just doing so much that you're bringing on so much that you now need some help to service. So you bring on partners to help you service the clientele. Do you want to be the same person you were last year? Okay, scarcity versus abundance, mindset check. Are there excuses of why it's okay? You're letting it go. Victim mentality, constantly blaming others. It's the place I hang my license. It could be insurance companies where you hang your license as an insurance agent. It's that you feel you can do it better on your own. Not solutions oriented. I'm not coming out with any solutions, not self-aware. You have a big emo. No, humility is so huge. If you're not humble to where you ask for help, you reach out to a coach, you reach out to a trainer, you reach out to somebody that's been doing it, that's doing so good, and just simply ask for help. They'll give you advice. You may think they won't, but they will. Top producers will give advice. Needs a coach, fears the knowledge, would rather be comfortable. Abundance, no excuses. I got this. Positive mentality, positive affirmations, solutions oriented, self-aware. You're humble and very coachable. You have a coach. You embrace the unknown. You do not, you do the uncomfortable activities to get results. That's a big one. That's one of the biggest ones where most biggest business owners fail is they just post a few things online, pray that people will see it and reach out to me. Then my phone will ring off the hook. And it just doesn't work that way. There's no structure, there's nothing going on. You have to be uncomfortable. And that's the only way you'll get comfortable. Get comfortable by doing the uncomfortable and making them and master the uncomfortable. So you got turned down a few times. So you got hung up. That means you need to do something better. You need to change your script. You need to think, okay, let me make another call. When someone hangs up on you, do you call them back and say, hey, I think we got disconnected? If not, why not? That's how I do it. When someone hangs up on me, I call them back and say, hey, I think we got disconnected. This is why I'm calling. And a lot of times they'll answer and they'll be like, oh, yeah, when I know they really hung up on me. That's like, let's laugh at the hang up. Let's get uncomfortable so we can get more comfortable. Do you want a winning game this year? Getting in the zone. Okay, this is the fun part, guys. You baseball players are gonna like this. Getting in the zone, maybe, maybe not. Depends on if you're a Dodgers fan. Getting in the zone is a state of mind where you're highly focused, you're relaxed, yet you feel happy or excited about what you're doing. Happy or excited? Are you excited about the tasks at hand, or are they miserable tasks? Okay, so you get to listen a little bit of Freddie Freeman.
Because I've been trying to, but I don't know. I never get quite there. I want you to try to explain people what is being on the zone, because every time you step at the plate, bro, it was like something happened before it happened.
Yeah. I wish I could explain the zone. I really do. But you just get into one of those zones where everything seems to slow down just enough. You're swinging at the right pitches. You're taking the balls. Just like before I got that hit, you foul off the pitches that you need to foul off. That's the big thing is it's buying another pitch. And that changeup I fouled off before I got the hit, that's what it was about. That sometimes is the zone, is to just get another pitch. You foul off the pitcher's pitch. And I was able to take on foul off pitches and hit the mistakes of the series.
But I tell you what, I'm going to give you just a little bit.
So Freddie Freeman, right? Getting in the zone. When I was watching, I watched the World Series, and you guys could all hear that, right? Because it was really quiet on my end, but hopefully you could hear it. Could nobody hear it? Was it really quiet? So basically, Freddie Freeman talks about getting in the zone. And so the zone is like, he talks about when you're sitting in that batter's box and you see a pitch coming, are you a little bit behind it? And you're just missing the ball. You just can't seem to line up, be a step ahead. Are you constantly a step ahead of what's coming in next? The next pitch, he talks about fouling him off, and that's just giving himself another pitch, another opportunity. So he was in the zone and he was fouling him off, whatever he needed to do. That's a good place to be because you're in the zone, you're getting a piece of it. But if you're a little behind it, you're totally missing it. Those of you Aaron Judge fans that were watching the World Series, that guy had a really rough World Series. He was not in the zone at all. Baseball players, if you're in a slump and you couldn't hit the ball, if you played baseball or softball in high school, whatever you did, you're just in a slump. That's not in the zone. That's out of the zone. How do you get back into the zone? That's a mindset check. So he talks about getting in the zone. When I heard this, I'm like, holy mackerel, I'm going to put that in my business planning clinic this year because that's exactly what we're talking about. Winning game means you're constantly ahead. You're not living life behind. Four Disciplines of Execution talks about driving your car through the rear view mirror. That's not a place to drive your car. You drive it through the windshield, constantly looking forward. You're in the zone. That's how you're running a business at a high level. Having self-confidence, believing in your skills and capabilities can make the experience more rewarding. Self-confidence is huge. That'll help you get into the zone and stay in the zone. Choosing the right activities is huge. So we're going to talk about your business planning clinic, or we're going to talk about your business plan today. And we're going to talk about picking activities that you can look at each and every week and make sure that those activities are the right activities. And look at your week. And if you find in your week, and if you can't do this, this is a basic, simple thing. If you can't pick a day on your schedule, and I suggest Fridays in the morning, you look at your schedule, you look at your 135, you look at what went on this week. And if you did things that week that are not on that 135, get them out of your schedule for next week. Or if they were really good and really important, put them in your 135. So if they're not on the schedule, they shouldn't be happening. If they're not on the 135, they shouldn't be happening. The 135 needs to match your daily schedule. So when you pick your activities, pick the ones you enjoy. Pick the ones that challenge you, though. They need to challenge you and make you feel, otherwise you're just going to constantly be living a comfortable life. And a comfortable life isn't a place to be. I mean, it's good. It is a good place to be, but you're only going to get more comfortable the more you get uncomfortable. So pick some activities that challenge you a little bit, but make sure the activities that are in the weekly schedule, Monday's schedule, did I do things on the business plan? If not, if they weren't on my business plan, I need to either add them to my business plan. That's why we're constantly modifying it throughout the year, or we're removing them from our schedule for next week, making sure that doesn't happen. Setting clear goals, define what you want to achieve and break large tasks into small pieces. So break them up into chewable chunks. So your business plan is huge. You got your business plan, your wildly important goal you're going to go after. And we're going to break it into small chunks each and every day to hit that goal. We'll break that down. Eliminating distractions. Unwanted distractions can make it difficult to get into the zone. So the zone is your zone. It's where you're at. Some people lock themselves in a room. I go to this office. This is my getaway. I can't work from home. I've been working from home all week because I had a little surgery last week, and it's been really hard. I was actually teaching and coaching, and my wife came in. I can say this because she's not on this call. She came in and she was doing something behind me, and I was trying to focus. And I finally had to stop, and I had to be in the nicest way possible. Honey, I gotta work. And so it's hard when you have distractions. And she was like, oh, sorry. And so then after I had to go apologize to her and tell her, hey, I'm so sorry. It's hard for me to focus. So that's why I have to come to this office. It's quiet, as you can hear. It allows me to focus on my tasks so I can get them done. And then in the afternoon, I can go do other things. But I got to get it done. I got to focus on that. Focusing on the present moment. Before you start, take a deep breath. Clear your mind of any thoughts, other tasks that you're doing. Clear it. How do you clear your mind? You really got to clear it and say, okay, I'm focusing on this and this only. This is my time block. Let's spend the next hour. And then that's how you end up having extra time in that schedule. Now, you've all heard about SMART goals. If you haven't, this might be new to you. SMART means specific. Your goal needs to be specific. It needs to be measurable. It needs to be achievable. Can you achieve it? Is it relevant? That's where we remove things out of our plan if it's not relevant. We might remove the wildly important goal if it's really not relevant to the growth of our company. Is it time bound? That's where I'm going to show you some books next. One of the books that's not on here is The 12-Week Year. It's a great book. And these are all business books. None of them are based on any specific business. They're all business books. Okay. They're based on business growth. And so I want to make sure that you guys know that these are books I recommend in 2025 that you read. If you read them in 2024, great. If you read them in 2023, you might read them again because it's going to get your mindset changed back to where you need to be. Eat That Frog is about procrastinating. Stop procrastinating, that bad word. 21 great ways to stop procrastinating and get more done with less time. More done with less time. There's that bad word statement or that bad statement, not enough time in the day. Eat that frog allows you to get more done because it talks about, if you had to eat a frog, you'd want to eat it early, get it done because it's gross, so you can get to the tasks that are much better, the better food. How about that? Although I heard frog legs are pretty good, like chicken, they say. But eat that frog is about getting the hard things done early so that you can enjoy the rest of your day. You business owners out there that have businesses such as construction, roofing companies. I know we have one of those on here today. There's different businesses on here. Those of you that have those types of services to where they're wanting you there at a certain time to do their job, they're expecting you there. But guess what? You control your calendar. And if you don't have what we call lead measures in your calendar, and I'll talk about more of this in a moment. Lead measures are things you don't have yet. If you don't have an hour a day, minimum business owners, an hour a day of lead generation, which means you don't show up to the job till 9 o'clock. I suggest 3 to 5 hours of lead generation if you don't, depending on what kind of business you have. But you've got to do this job, right? How long is that job going to take you? And figure it out in a 7, maybe a 6-hour workday, because you got to spend at least 1 up to 3 hours of generating new business every day. That, get it done early. So what if a client or a customer says, hey, why do you not show up till 10 o'clock? And then you leave at 4:30, 4 o'clock. And you should respond with a question and say, is it important to you that after this job is over, that I follow up with you and I check in with you and see how the job's working and making sure that the roof is still not leaking? Is there anything you need? Is it important with you that I do that? Or would you rather me just be done with the job and never check in with you again and check in on your roof? Our eyes are gonna open. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's important. Yeah, I love that customer service. That's great. Well, just know that's what I do in the mornings. I spend 2 to 3 hours working on checking in with past clients, making sure they're doing good, seeing if there's anything they need before I show up to your job. So that's what I'm doing every morning. So I'm not working. I'm working. I'm just checking in with everybody, making sure their projects are still holding together, making sure their house, those realtors, making sure their house is still doing good, seeing if there's anything they need. So that's that lead generation time in the morning. That's crazy important. So there is enough time in the day to lead generate. Just because you got a job doesn't mean you're not focusing on lead generation every day. You've got to spend an hour, depending on how much work you have backed up. And if you have too much work backed up that you can't work that hour, then it's time to hire. That's where we can have a whole coaching call on hiring. I'll help you. We'll teach you, work you through it, from interviewing to disc profiling everyone, making sure everyone. I just hired an employee in 1 week the other day. Everyone got a disc. I only hired specific people. I had 40 applicants come through. I only interviewed certain people that had certain disc profiles. I mean, hiring is a fun part of the business, and that's where I want you to all be, is hiring, making that next hire. If it's bringing on a new agent, every new agent that comes on my team required to take a disc before we offer them a chance to join the team, because there's certain disc profiles that don't do good on a team. That's why teams fail sometimes, because discs is so important. You got to have a team player, and the specific S personality is a team player. So you look for certain things. So that's hiring. That's so much fun. I want you to be there. But you got to focus on the lead first. You got to focus on growing the business and structuring the business and the business growth first. All right. So if you didn't get these books documented down, let me know and I'll resend them to you. I'm going to unshare my screen, because now I promised you we're going to jump straight into the business plan. So I'm going to show you first off a sample. And all of you guys should have received these. I sent them in the beginning. If you did not get them, it's because you came in late. And let me know. Put something in the group chat here. I just see can't hear it. Okay, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that. Ask for help, learn to grow. Okay, so if you did not get the 135 business plan blanks because you came in late, let me know and I'll reshare them with you. Otherwise, you're going to jump right into this. So just so you know, you business owners that are not real estate agents, it's okay. These are built the same. Okay, you're built the same. These are just ones that I happen to have for a realtor. This has to do with 45 transactions. Okay. How am I going to do it? How am I going to break it down? Well, that's the ultimate wildly important goal I'm going to go after. And I'm going to break it down into 3 things I'm going to focus on. Focus is the key word. Focus, focus, focus. Okay. Focus means I'm focusing on it every day. I'm spending time on it every day. Okay. So on 3 focus area, number 1 is establish online presence. Number 2 is lead generation for new business. Organize my COI, which is my circle of influence, also known as sphere of influence. Those are your biggest fans. Those are your past jobs you've worked. Those are your future, your past people you knew from school, maybe a church directory, maybe your people in your neighborhood. Do you not own your neighborhood? Are you not selling all the properties in your neighborhood? That needs to be one of your farms. If you're not farming that neighborhood business owner, then you should feel really bad if you're a, AC company and another AC truck pulls up across the street. Wow. Why are you not servicing that house? You could have walked to work today. So those are important things to make sure you're hitting your circle of influence, which is your neighborhood. And if you have a CRM, if you don't have a CRM, I highly suggest it. For you business owners out there, the CRM that I got recommended to me this week, thank you, Cashin, from our BNI group, was House Call Pro, called House Call Pro. That's a great CRM. He said it works really good for businesses, so highly suggest that for you businesses. That came from Cashin. Commissions Inc.'s a great one. Boomtown's a great one. Top Producer's a great one. FirePoint's a good one. It doesn't matter what CRM you use. What matters is, are you systematically growing it and contacting it? So that's where we set up a plan. Now I'm going to show you another business plan here. I'm actually going to create one with you. I've already started it to be a little quicker. And this one's based off of any type of business out there. So if I want to add 70 new customers, all right, so we've got prospecting. What is prospecting? Prospecting goes back from the old days of prospecting for gold. That was prospecting. We're sifting through all this dirt to get that gold nugget. That's where the word prospecting in business comes from. So if we're prospecting for gold to pick up a client, the ultimate thing is when I have the job, they're now a customer, right? Those of you in real estate in Idaho know the difference between customer and client, but others in other states may not. Customer and client, okay? Customer is what I want. I want to service 70 new customers in 2025. How am I going to do that? Is that doable? Heck yeah. Just depends on how high you have that faucet open. You have your marketing department and you have your servicing department. You can never let servicing overflow marketing department. Marketing department is what we're doing here, is setting up how we're going to have our marketing department open for business every day and what we're going to be attacking every day. In this case, 70 customers. How am I going to do it? I'm going to establish an online presence. I think it's a good one, so I left it in here. I'm going to lead generate for new business. I think it's a really good one and needed, so I'm going to leave that in here. I'm going to organize my COI, also known as your SOI, in my CRM database and systematically grow it each and every day. And how am I going to do that? So I don't expect you guys to walk away today with all of these filled out. If you do, you failed, because that tells me you don't believe in it. Okay, so here's your homework right now. I'm going to pause for 1 minute. Okay, I'm going to let you do your homework in class today. I want you to time block your most important time block on your calendar right now. Okay, this Friday, put a time on your schedule. You must make it a repeat for every Friday. This is the most important meeting for you to make every single week. Most important, way more important than doing the job. And this, I want you to put 3 things in there. Number 1, review 135, comma, or number 2 item. Look at this week and see how this week went compared to my 135. You don't have to put all that verbiage in there, but look at this last week, okay? Number 3, look at next week. That's what you want to put in there, and word it however you want it, but those are the 3 things you're going to be focusing on this time block. This time block could take 15 minutes, guys. But it required to stick to this one. You're required to stick to this one in 2025. If you do, it will change your world. And during that meeting, 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe, plan next week out based on your 135. If your 135 says, I'm going to do 10-10-5 on social media, do 10-10-5 on social media. Okay. If it says I'm going to do one post a day, doing the 5-to-1 ratio, which is 4 personal posts, 1 business post. Personal posts is all about you, all about your job. It could be your and I'll give you a calendar here in a minute that'll help you with your business posts if you want to do that. You have 4 business personal posts, 1 business post. Your business post is your commercial. Don't do a bunch of commercials on social media. You structure your social media to do 4-to-1 ratio, 4-to-1 ratio, 4-to-1 ratio. That one could go any day during the week. Doesn't have to be on Friday. It could be on Thursday. You move it around, change it up every week, but time block in the calendar, what time of the day you're going to do that. This needs to be in the calendar. I suggest early before everybody's awake. And then 8 o'clock is time to make outbound calls, outbound contacts, text messages. I do happy birthdays like this with my cell phone, wish people happy birthday. That's a lead generation thing, guys. That's how fun business growth can be. Happy birthday. Just want to check in and see how you're doing. Happy birthday. I'm getting ready to head to work. I got 5 showings right now, but I could not stop right now to say happy birthday to you. Now I just plugged that I'm a realtor. I'm getting ready to go do a new roof on a property, but before I did that, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Now I just plugged that I'm a roofer. That's a lead generation call. How many happy birthdays do you see on social media that you can wish happy birthday today? That's a lead generation call. A lot of those are part of your social media follow-up too. Messages. Everyone gets a happy birthday from me, guys. Everybody. All right. So that's part of building social media. Setting up a customer list in Facebook. Do you know you can do custom lists in Facebook? And you can set them up on a contact plan and a follow-up plan. You can set that up as part of your online presence. All right. So, and then here, lead generation for new business, lead team leaders. I'm going to reach out to everybody that I know that's a team leader and any business, could be businesses out there, could be leaders, just could be any leader that's a CEO of a business, and just check in with them and see how they're doing. I might be going after new business owners out there and looking for new business owners out there to see if they need any help or any coaching or anything like that. I might call 20 a day business owners, B2B, business to business, and just check in with their businesses, see how they're doing. How about 20 other people that are in my SOI that I need to reach out to? Now, guess what? This is going to be a time in my calendar. So on Friday on that call, I'm going to make sure that this is a time. It could be a 30 minutes, could be 45. I could set this for a full hour. And then if I get done early, I get to catch up on a few things. Yeah, but just don't make sure hour number 2 gets blocked. It needs to stick to your time card. You need to hit the business plan for hour number 2, hour number 3, hour number 4, or maybe half hour and finishing up that hour. Another half hour, finishing up that hour. Now I just did 2 full hours of lead generation and I got 4 tasks done on my schedule. Or this all right here could be part of Monday, hour number 1, and then hour number 2 on Monday, hour number 2, I'm going to do something different throughout the week on maybe Tuesday. But it needs to match your business plan. How about this one? Organize my CRM database system. Again, doesn't matter which one you use as long as you use it. I need to call 20 people in there. That's using it. And then I'm going to add a new note on what we talked about. And I'm going to set an alert in there when to call them again. Because my goal is eventually my CRM is going to put me to work each day. I sit down at my computer, I open up my CRM, and it tells me who needs a phone call today. And then I click on them and it shows me what the note was that we talked about last time. So then I'm going to call them again and check in on their project, see how it's going, whatever I need to do. Or I might invite them to a client appreciation event, or I might invite them to something else. Whatever it is, though, it needs to be blocked out in that calendar. All right, set up a monthly email in my CRM to go out. Now, setting it up can very quickly become me spending time not doing outbound calls or outbound stuff. Setting it up needs to not take up a full 30 minutes, maybe Maybe if it goes 45 minutes, that would be crazy too long. 30 minutes, if I can't get it done in 30 minutes, I'm gonna push it off to tomorrow's schedule and I'll have another time block to finish up what I started. But I cannot let it like take a ton of time because I'm not gonna get a new client if I'm spending time setting up my CRM. No, that's bad. The setting up the CRM means I'm calling, texting, emailing people. I'm direct reaching out to people. And then setting up the monthly mailer to go out. And I need it to happen because that's a touch that's going to happen every month that I don't have to do. I just might set it up. I might set 1 or 2 months up to go out to do, whatever the season is, seasonal emails to go out, and then leave it alone. And then I'll update it again later, make sure they're still working right. But I want it set up, but I'm not going to spend a ton of time doing it because that's not going to get me a new customer. What's going to get me a new customer is the outbound proactive calls, the things that need to happen. Set up mailers to go out once per month. That's another good one, right? Any other good ones you guys can think about you want to throw in there that you want to focus on? But here's the most important thing. Remember it. Remember it, and do it. Okay, so Tony says, I need them. I couldn't log in. Okay, got it. So this is where we're at, guys. I'm going to send this right now. I'm going to add new ones in here. So Tony gets the business plan. And I think a few other of you came in a little bit late to get the business plan either. So I want to make sure I give you guys that. Give me 1 second. So the goal is right now, I want you to all have Friday time blocked. Most important time block of your day, Friday. And I want you to start working on this. Here's the thing. You all have my email now because I've been emailing you about this call today. I'm your accountability partner. I know who's on this call today, and I'm going to hold you accountable. Okay? I'm going to hold you accountable. I want you to email me a partial business plan by Friday. Okay? By that time block thing you put in your calendar. Okay, here they come. By that time block you put in your calendar, by that date, I want you to email me a copy of your business plan, and I will hold you accountable. For some reason, it's not going in there. Why is it not going in there? I want you to email me a copy of your business plan. There it is. Okay, there's the blank one coming your way. Should be in the group chat right now. Here is just a solo sample, but these are real estate based. So for you business owners, you may not like this. You may not care about it. But then again, the second one I sent you is about building a team. And it does talk about recruiting. So if you're ready to start growing to that next level because you have so much business you can't handle, then maybe that second one will help you. Oh, there's one more I'm going to give you that I forgot about. It's a really cool one too, where you can actually enter in some numbers that'll help you come up with your business plan. I'll show you what that one looks like right now. Helps you actually plug in a few things. And it's right here. So that's in the group chat as well, this form right here. So business success plan. Okay, and this isn't anything that I've created or anything I got from Eisenhower Coaching. This is actually just kind of comes up with, gives you some target sites to focus on. Determine your monthly personal expenses. So it gives you some expenses, and these are all fillable. It's kind of cool. Gives you a target. So I can give myself a target income. I'm gonna make 300,000 this year. And then it'll start breaking things down for you. So it takes part one, it tells you exactly what to do to break down your monthly income, your goal income. What's your GCI, gross commission income? GCI for those business owners, gross commission income. That's your gross commission income. Then you minus expenses gives you your net commission income. All right. Your broker gets a cut. So maybe you take a cut for your business expenses, or you take a cut for your marketing budget or something like that, and it allows you to budget it out. So this is a great form. You guys got a copy of that now. All right, so does everybody have a copy of it? Everybody have their business plan, and you're ready to go. All right. The goal is to get it started. One, wildly important goal that you believe in and you know you can reach. Number two, three focus areas that you like and enjoy that you can focus on. And then number three, the bottom ones, uh, all I need is a couple to get you started. Put a couple things in there that you can plug into your daily schedule 5 days a week minimum. Okay. Because we got to work. We're the bosses. But guess what? Our calendars are time clock. Our calendar is our time clock that tells us what we need to do hour on hour. So plug those few things that you started with into the week one. Plug it in starting tomorrow. But my suggestion is focus on this week. Have a plan by that Friday time block you made. Email it to me. And then on that Friday time block, since you're not worrying about this week yet, I'm giving you a little break here. Have next week all planned out. Here would be the perfect reward for me, okay, for doing this for you today, for free, by the way. For doing this for free today would be the perfect reward to me. If you not only sent me your business plan, started, you don't need to complete them all. Remember, I want you to believe in it this year. Believe in it. That's the paradigm shift. Think forward. Is to also send me a screenshot of your calendar, showing me proof that you put it in the calendar. I want to see the proof. Proof's in the pudding, proof's in the calendar. So put it in your calendar so I can see it. So I believe it, that you're going to stick to it. And then stick to that number one time block every week. All right, guys. I do a huddle call on Monday. You're invited to come to that. If you want to email me and want to join, just email me. Let me know you want to join that huddle call on Monday. And that huddle call is all about me saying, all right, what's going on? What happened last week? Let's commit to something this week to make sure that doesn't happen. It's usually a short 15-minute call, 20 minutes. Sometimes I push it 30, depends on how many conversations we have. But it allows me to hold you accountable to this. And I'll ask you, did you stick to that time block on Friday? Did you look at your business plan on Friday? So it's a little extra accountability for you. All right. I hope this was helpful today. Let me know if you have any questions or you need anything. If not, I'll put my email address in the .com. So email address is inside of the chat. Email me any feedback, anything you want to see different, anything you need a little help on, anything that sounded a little, some of you came in pretty far late today. Email me something that you want to go over. All right, guys. Chat with you soon. You're welcome. Thanks for making it today, Ryan. Appreciate it.